So I think that this makes a really good short talk for a video. Listen to this title: The Power of Knowing and Learning More. So the power of learning more and therefore knowing more. Here's what happens when we think about learning. Most people think about academic or school related learning, but in reality, learning is for everything, for any skill, for any task, is for anything that you can gain as something that you now know how to do. So we tend to mix the word learning with school only, with academic only, with classes basically, writing, science, math, those sort of things, or maybe with other types of skills like drawing, learning how to draw, or learning a new language or that kind of thing. But in reality, learning is about everything. Learning is also about sports, physical activities. You're learning, it's not something that you're learning from a textbook, but you're also learning, you're developing a skill. And here's what happens and why, learning is something that makes you powerful, really. Because when you learn a new skill, something new, after you learn it, even if you didn't learn it perfectly or wonderfully, you still can get better at it. There's still more to know about it. After you learn something from that skill, your confidence at the fact that you can learn something else about it or get a little bit better on it, it raises, it goes up, and you feel more confidence about learning more on that skill. But here's the thing, it's not just that skill, it's also really anything else, especially from that category, because it's like in our life, everything is learning new tasks, getting new, not just ideas, but just adapting. The flow of living and adapting to new things automatically includes learning. You have to learn new things. And what happens is that when you learn something new in any category, any skill, it can be a sport, or it can be something academic, or it can be something else, you feel as a person more proficient to learn something else and to do something else because you already did this. But it stacks up like a really good example for this, and I can tell this like from the bottom of my heart because I experienced this myself. Like when I was a teenager, when I was a little younger, I was very deep into the academic stuff, so I was mostly learning academic stuff. But when I got into like my 20s, I felt this need to get more into sports and to learn more new sports that I wasn't so great at. I wanted to get good at them, so I did that, and I started to experience something quite interesting. In general, when I learned something new about academic, like a new subject, or maybe something else in math, or in writing, or in science, after that, not only I felt good about the fact that I learned something new, so it pushed up my confidence and my belief in how good I am at this, but it also made me feel more that I was capable of learning something else that I didn't know yet. So because I learned, like math and writing and this science and this other science, then I can learn that other science that I haven't learned yet. Or maybe I can write better than before because I went this far here. Or maybe I can learn this that I didn't. So it pushes up your level of belief in yourself because of what you already know, even for things that you don't know yet. So maybe I didn't know anything about astronomy yet, but because I knew about math and writing and basic science, I felt completely confident that I was capable of, and I did, by the way, of grabbing an astronomy book and reading it and learning astronomy from a class or even by myself. But part of the reason why I felt completely confident about that was that I already had learned other things before. Same thing with sports, like even unrelated ones, like even right now, like because I learned racquetball and I learned tennis and I learned some swimming. If you watch my two videos here that I posted about that topic, and I learned I know how to play baseball, though I haven't played in years, so it's obviously not my forte. Um, so yeah, because I learned those sports and volleyball, I got better in volleyball as well. I've never played golf in my life, but because I know those other sports, if you told me right now, let's go hit golf balls at a golf course tomorrow, I will go there feeling completely sure I'm gonna hit those balls right. And it doesn't matter, I might go there and I might look completely idiotic and not do great, but I'm gonna learn it faster because I'm already going with this mind frame, with this mindset of, oh, I can already do it. And I know I can because I already did racquetball, because I already did tennis, because I already did some baseball and some volleyball. So it's okay, I have never done golf, but I feel ready for it because of the other things that I learned, because of that knowledge that I already have. And here's the thing, there are some of them that do relate to it a little bit. Like if you know how to basically swing the baseball bat and the movement for the racket, for the serving, that's gonna help you with golf, with actually swinging the golf club. If there is a difference, well, you can learn it. You can learn it later, but there are things in the others that are gonna help you for this. And overall, it just, if you think about it, my confidence about golf, I don't know anything about golf right now, but I know that I can do it. If I learn another sport, will it go up? My confidence for golf? Yes, it will go up. But if out of those sports that I mentioned, you remove two of them, I didn't learn tennis, I didn't learn racquetball, my confidence for golf will go down too, because I have learned less. So everything stacks. Like the more you learn, the better you feel to conquer other activities. Sometimes they don't have to be related to what you learn, they can be something else. And that happens with academic stuff, but it also happens everywhere else in everything else. It happens with social dynamics, it happens with sports, it happens with everything if you think about it. Like even things that sometimes they feel unrelated, they still give you a push either to do better or to feel like you can do better, which obviously helps to ultimately doing better. Like for example, I know a good example, like the fact that I got better in writing in the last few years. I got much better in writing because of the series, because I was into writing series. It raised my communication skills. It raised my ability to give speeches. Why? Because writing is also a form of communication. So it's not, we can argue that it's not the same. It's true that it's not the same, but it is related. So since you're getting better and better, more proficient at something that is related, that automatically, not only gives you true skill and true ability to be able to do better at the other, but it makes you feel, which is everything if you think about it. Because when you feel, I can do this, even if you haven't done it, your mind frame, your mental state, your mindset is in the right place to learn faster, to gain the other new knowledge a lot faster, to do quite well at it earlier than if you didn't feel like that. And everything is about the learning. So the more you learn, it's like going up a stair, like a staircase. Oh, I learned this, go up one step. Oh, I learned that, go up another step. Oh, I learned that other stuff that doesn't have anything to do with this here and these areas and these things. But regardless, because I learned something new, I go up one more step. So what ends up happening is the higher you go on those stairs, the more proficient you feel that your belief in your capacity to learn anything else and to do well at anything else goes up. And this is the real reason why I think I am one of those people that believes that it is good to become a master or very professional, very knowledgeable about one task, one skill, or one area. I understand why that is useful. Obviously, you can get a job of that because of how much you know about it, because of how well established your professional ability is in that area. But I personally think that it is a mistake, even professionally, even it is a mistake even in the professional level to only focus on one area, one let's call it job, one thing, and never look at anything else, and never learn anything else or add anything else to your repertoire. Because what's gonna happen is that you get so specialized in that sure, you're wonderful in that and you can live your whole life being wonderful in that, but then you begin to it is a good thing to be balanced, to be able to not just be, for example, right? That's not me, in case you're wondering. For example, let's say you're a science person, a science guy, like a doctor, right? Like, let's say you're like a doctor in biology maybe, and all you have ever done was that since school, then in the university and later in life. All you did is that, and all you do is that. All you keep doing is that. It's not bad. Anything you learn makes you feel better about yourself. So it's not a bad thing, but it kind of it's kind of like constrained. Like, you're only here. So what about everything else? Knowing something, you don't have to become an expert at everything else, because there's no time. There's no time in life to become an expert at everything. But knowing something from the other areas, believe it or not, will also help that biologist to feel even better about that area. You can even incorporate or bring these things that you learn from the other areas to this one and make you someone in this area that you know more of, that is more dynamic, that is more maybe even someone who can bring innovation into that area, because you're bringing the stuff from the other areas as well. Which is one of the things that I'm pretty sure that I can do with the science fiction action series that I can write and that I'm working on as a big hobby of mine. But yeah, this is it for this video. And I but rather I know that it's, learning is something powerful, because the more you learn, the more your confidence grow about the fact that you can learn anything else that you want to learn. And that even works with skills or with things that are unrelated to maybe the area that you're trying to master. Sometimes we think, oh, you want to master A, and all you're doing is about A, and you forget about everything else, and you think, oh, B cannot help me to feel better in A or to master A. And it's not necessarily truth. Maybe B can help you to bring a new idea into A, to do something new for it. So personally, at a personal level, I have experienced this the most with sports related abilities, but I have also seen it with academic stuff. Like um, the reason by the end of my last year in college, the reason why I felt that I was capable of learning anything was because I had already learned many things from different classes. So I felt prepared, well equipped to learn anything else from another new class. And in sports, it was the same thing. At the very beginning, when I had only practiced like one or two sports, I didn't feel so confident about another new one. But after I already knew, not like a professional, not like a pro, but at least like someone who can challenge another player who is not a pro either, and perhaps even someone who is like a semi-pro. Like if I am in a very good day, I think I can challenge a semi-pro because I get pretty competitive. So, but yeah, when I knew more sports, I just felt um, more ready to learn a new one. Like golf, for example, I have never played golf in my life, but because of what I know so far, if you told me let's play golf tomorrow, I will go there and play golf tomorrow. Obviously, if it is with someone who already knows how to play it, I might not win. That's a different story. But I, feel in the right mindset to learn it. Not because I did any golf before, I didn't do any of that, but because I did some other sports. And it's the same thing with the academics. It's the same thing with even with the social interactions with people. Like it's the same for everything. It's unbelievable, but it's the same for everything. Like who are the people that can learn a new language easier and faster? The people who already know more than one language, because and the other languages they can even be completely unrelated. So learning Portuguese doesn't have to be like learning French. Like it can be very different, or like learning English, or like learning Spanish. I know Spanish too. It's my native language, so pretty well I think. Um, but I have been doing more writing in English. I write a lot more in English. So I think my writing is better in English at this point. But my speaking is the same for both languages. Actually, I think I speak better Spanish, but I like talking in English because I live in the United States. So if I can't talk English, then we should talk English. Then I prefer it that way. And but I am a Spanish guy, so yes, I talk Spanish too. So so yes, what I want you to understand from this video is that if you have the opportunity to learn something new, go ahead and learn it, because anything new you learn, you go up one stair on that infinite staircase that you can go up in, and the higher you go, basically because you have learned more tasks or more abilities or more skills, the more confident you feel about the fact that you can learn anything else. Bring it on, bring that. I can deal with that too. I can do that too, because I already did this and I already did that and I already did the other one. So learning really is something powerful, like a force, and it is something that helps a lot. The more you know, learning is never wasted. Don't feel like, let's say you took a class and then you realize, oh, this class is never gonna help me with anything. This class wasn't such a great selection. Don't worry about it. If you learned something, anything with that class, it wasn't wasted. Let's say you had an experience and you learned something in the experience, but then you thought that wasn't that great. Like maybe I shouldn't have visited that place. I should have visited somewhere else, or maybe I shouldn't have gone on, I don't know, that date, or with that friend that invited me to to that, like I went once to that ice skating ring when I could have gone to this fantastic and wonderful uh, zoo date with this other person. Uh, you know what? Even even though I didn't like the ice skating that much, I kind of learned a little about it, so I did learn something from it. So if I ever have to touch another ice skating ring or place, I'm not going to be falling on my butt, at least not on the first minute, because I learned something from it. So yeah, that's a way to approach everything. If you learn something from it, great. It wasn't wasted. Um, Usually there's something that we can learn from anything, from everything, from anyone. Though, you have to be able to filter because we don't have infinite time. So since we don't have infinite time, if we have a lot to pick, where are we gonna learn next? Where are we gonna go next? I think that the most, this smartest, most intelligent thing to do is to pick, next the area or the place, or even the job where you're gonna be able to learn the most, so that that's gonna stay with you. Doesn't matter what happens later. Maybe you leave that place, or you go to another job, or your plans change, like what happened to me. I had like big changes of plans. um, it doesn't matter if you went into a route where you learn a lot. That wasn't really lost, because when you leave that place, you feel more confident, and perhaps here's a better word here for this talk, more capable. You feel much more capable of doing anything else because of what you already did there. Why? Because of what you learned during the time when you did that. So yeah, that's one of the big driving forces in our lives. Learning, because of the knowledge that it gives us, and because of the fact that it builds us up. Learning and this knowledge that it gives us, it builds our character, who we are, and it gives us the confidence that we're capable and that we can do whatever else we have to do next. And this is regardless of whether you were learning a sport or something academic. Here's actually something interesting. If you were learning something challenging, maybe it didn't feel that great while you were learning it because it was challenging. But if you were learning something challenging and it's so good to, for you, it makes you feel more confident that you're capable of doing anything else later. Because you just did that, which was so challenging, and this other thing. So it builds confidence. Okay, so this is it for this video. This is an impromptu video. Like I just had this topic here on my table, and I read it. Video title: The Power of Knowing and Learning More. So guess what? Now we're done with that video, and I think it is a good talk. This can give maybe ideas, maybe to those who listen to it, those who watch it. I think it's getting into the mindset that anything you learn is good for you. It's another tool in your tool set. It's another step up in the ladder of life. It's another ounce of confidence in your ability, of the fact that you can now do something else, anything else really. And learning makes you feel good. Learning makes me feel good. It doesn't matter if it is a sport, if it is like an athletic activity, or if it is like an academic skill. Learning is so great. It Yeah, I was about to say it entertains us. Well, I do find learning quite entertaining, honestly, and quite invigorating. But it's really more than just that. It's not just entertainment. It's also an actualization. It's more than that. It's really perhaps it's even necessary. Like if you don't learn anything and you're stuck without learning anything new, without doing anything new, it's probably bad. Uh, I don't know. Maybe even for the brain. Who knows? All right, just gonna leave it here because and this is less than 5 minutes. That's pretty impressive for me. I tend to go in every video. I tend to go over the time that I was planning, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. See you next time.